This is in continuation to the discussion, and particularly today we would be focusing on the aspect of the Madrid Protocol and try and understand the classifications. There are 45 classifications under the NICE classification, and we are going to dig deep to understand the same and see how we can rethink the capabilities to outshine the landscape of understanding how the quantum world is working in conjunction with Internet of Things, blockchain, and the others, particularly from the standpoint view of being serverless, creating the modules, sub-modules around the same, and how the understanding of positioning on a public ledger makes everyone who is part of that subset, not the set, but the subset, legible enough to understand the ways and means the circular economy can be achieved, and understanding the data sets in terms of quadrillion data sets are being formed at any given instance, whether it's in the online world, offline world, or in synchronicity. However, the identification of the, not the patterns, pattern is a capitalistic way of running the nations and the continents. Here we are focusing on the aspect of understanding the internet in terms of Internet of Things onto the Web 3.0 landscape, and as to how the data set of the communication network protocols be deployed, and the candidates who are part of any subset protocols are able to be a earning member of the protocols rather than just there's a school of thought around net neutrality, which I don't want to get into right now, but I'll just put myself on mute and understand the Madrid Protocol landscape given the landscape of 2025 and beyond. We are in the last quarter of the business. The way I see it, let's take it as the last quarter, for if we take it as a year of taking it as a calendar year. So putting myself on Okay, so we are diving deep into the understanding of the Madrid Protocol and perhaps the international landscape of understanding the trade-related aspects of intellectual property rights. It's a very broad term. Most of the folks globally have no understanding, but still they are part of the field. So that's the irony of this profession of not understanding intellectual property rights the way it has to be understood, but when understood, the whole understanding of the protocols is very magical. So I'll deep dive into it and we'll look into, so the word which I have picked up, or the phrase which I have picked up, it's not a word, it's, you can say it's kind of a tagline, but not a tagline at the same point of time, is the word net neutral. So net neutrality has been discussed for more than a decade now, or rather I should be saying almost 15 years plus we have been discussing this. Today, when obviously there's a dream state each one of us goes through, when I woke up, somehow I felt that the timeline which perhaps has been reached again is 2019. And when I reached office, I saw something which actually reminded me of that time. And fortunately, I think we have to go back into the timeline to understand the statistics of the understanding of Madrid Protocol, the understanding of the protocol itself, the understanding of businesses itself. Because right now, the business understanding is very less in terms of even understanding what artificial intelligence is all about. So perhaps with understanding the trade-related aspects, at any given point of time, this discussion would be of facilitation in terms of human capacity building as to what can be achieved under the Madrid Protocol. And fortunately, we did a Madrid Protocol this year itself, and we safeguarded, or perhaps I won't say safeguarded, but got to enter multiple countries with one application, including UAE. Though you can enter UAE after a timeline, but it's always good to have a very strategic approach upfront when you're trying to do a business of the nation with the verses, whatever verse you're trying to create, good enough. Because certain countries in the world, in the offline world, they are providing 100%, or rather I would say they are inviting intellectual minds to work around and develop the protocols around blockchain, which is the need of the hour. Blockchain was never to make peers rich. Blockchain was never to make hunky-doky around anything and everything. Blockchain was to combat corruption. That is one of the very important frameworks, irrespective of whatever blockchain you're trying to create. Combat corruption, develop the trust, and the trust has to be 100%. There cannot be any ounce of doubt when the trust is concerned when we're talking about blockchain. So let's look into this. The word net neutral has been filed in class 20, and I'm not getting into the origin and everything because that is not important. It's a funny application, but yeah, let me just discuss. I won't get into in which country it was filed, or the essence of the discussion is to understand the classification of 1 to 45. If you have to code something with the blockchain, just write nice as NICE. 1 to 45, if I have to give you words around NICE, N would be not number, N would be neutral. I would be, the letter I would be in. I'm getting into 2-letter word. So in the NICE classification, we are just creating one of the proof of stake for the application. So in the word nice, N stands for neutral, I stands for in, C stands for no questions about it, communication, and E stands for empathy. Now, empathy itself can be looked upon in zillion ways, not zillion ways, I would rather say quadrillion. We have been working out on the Impula network on the quadrillion stuff, and it's working fantastically, even for the quantum to work in the way it has to work, because quantum world is not just calculations or instrumentation. That is just an iota of quantum. However, quantum has a lot of facets, and the facets are so huge that even the selection of the candidates is not based on degrees and year of experience. It is based on the understanding of a lot of things, where the protocols play the pivotal roles, and understanding most of the protocols is one of the I would say understanding most of the protocols is paramount even to get into the understanding of quantum. So even if somebody is working in quantum, we get a lot of DMs across the globe where they want to facilitate us in the quantum world, but we don't need facilitation. We are already very well established in the quantum stuff, and what we are looking at is to develop the case study so that we can develop the circular economy, provide employment the way it has to be, human capacity building, and these are the I would say stepping points which are very important in terms of even creating the jobs again, because most of the folks are unemployable globally. It's not a country mandate. Globally, most of the folks are unemployable because the education system is totally broken. So when the education system is totally broken in any of the countries, it becomes very important as a employer-employee to even have a conversation as to what needs to be done to establish the protocol of even having a company which is 100 plus employees, which I feel would be very difficult given the data set that there's a lot of intel available, and only folks who are upskilled enough would be the torchbearers to take the world forward in a direction where it has to be taken, because this is Industrial 4.0 revolution, if we have to understand that. So this net neutral stuff has been filed in class 20, and very simply net neutral has been filed in class 20 for office furnitures. So if you go back to the timeline of the uploading which we have done, so we shipped a couple of things in the online world, and out of that you will see that there's somewhere I talked about furnitures and office furnitures class 20, very cryptic. Next let's look into again net neutral office furniture again. Okay, multiple people. So Costa Rica, this one is interesting. We will consider this as a tagline: neutral period on net anywhere. Neutral period on net period anywhere. So this was filed in the year 2019 in class 38. Let me translate this. Okay, class 38. $20, 38. Okay, interesting. So this is communication services. 38 particularly is for communication services, transmission of voice, transmission of audio, transmission of visual images, and transmission of data via telecommunication networks, wireless communication networks, the internet. Then there's information service networks and the data network. So we'll just deep dive into this. Give me a moment. Okay, as this is done, we are back here. So this is done from Costa Rica, where we're talking about communication services. Okay, next we have Mexico. Neutrino, neutral on net anywhere. So it's basically the word neutral in Mexican language or dialect is neutrono, neutrona, neutrona, neutral on net anywhere. It looks like a spell. So this is in class 35. Neutrona, neutrona, neutral on net anywhere. Okay. Address of this company is Miami, Florida. What are they trying to do? Zigzag. Okay, this is a logo, or we also call it as a device. Clause 35. What is this? So generally 35 becomes mandatory for any businesses, whether in the online world or in the offline world, because if you're using internet as a means to communicate and you're using the canvas of internet, it becomes mandatory to file in class 35. So it looks into the advertisements as to how, if anybody in the world is going through the portal and looking at your videos or the website or anything, JPEG, PNGs and whatnot. So class 35 becomes mandatory in that respect, and it includes business administration, office functions. These are very simple description. However, you need to get in deep dive into the description, because the better the description, the better the candidates who would be your. So in MBA we studied about VOC, that is voice of customer. So I call it voice of communication. So it becomes very important to have a very detailed description of the trademarking, because that gives an opportunity to have a wider landscape at any given point of time when you are developing a business model, particularly versus and nations in the online world. So this is done. Unilever Denmark. Okay, they have filed neutral with half a circle and a percentage. Very interesting. Unilever Denmark has filed in class 3, 5, 16 and 21. It's half a circle, the word neutral with a percentage. I'm not pretty sure they're using it anywhere. Okay. Coherent legal entity. Let's look into it. Mathematical signs, segments of circles or eclipse. Interesting. Let's convert some Danish. So we have this word neutral with a percentage, sign of percentage, and half a circle. And half a circle reminds me of Coke. I don't know how many people know this. Coca-Cola. Cola is half a circle, full circle, right angle A. So these were the lingos of the early 1970s. Request. Okay, great. So this filing has been done. Oh, I like it. Class 3, class 5, 16 and 21. Let's go back. Okay, so there's another one very interesting. They have a star, which is a hue of red tone, but not red. Filed in the year 2013, country of filing was Spain. The word neutral. So the point I'm trying to make here is a lot of businesses are being orchestrated around the word neutral. And somehow I could relate to it because way back at that point of time was just too much getting the ICOs done globally. So I didn't have interest in discussing net neutrality, but given the landscape of today, it becomes paramount to understand net neutrality and focus on this because this needs attention, because this orchestration already has been done in the past. So way back on the timeline, even companies like Unilever, if they have invested in this particular trademarking, which is half a circle with neutral and a percentage, there is some catch around this. So they have this particular class 9. Okay, so particularly I was saying this, I said it's a who of red. So the color coordination here is basically combination of red, pink and orange. So that kind of, I would say tomato, because you can have tomato red of different colors. So it might be a tomato red. So let's look into this. So there's a lot of emphasis around the logos right now with geometrical stuff. So right now the logo formations is not based on the colors. It's a theory of the past. In the new world order, the logos are being developed around geometries, around singular words, and particularly combination of at least 5 elements or components or modules, submodules, whatever the word suits people. Okay, so Unilever. So we are going to get something. I don't know whether this product, I haven't seen it, neither researched about it. So class 3 is particularly for laundry detergents, polishing, stain removal, dishwashing agents, and Unilever is famous for working in this aspect. Shampoos. I remember I think I got it from Scotland. It was really good. Anyhow, cosmetic preparation for skincare, cosmetic oils, creams, ointments, tonics, lotion for the skin. Okay, then this is class 3. Napkins, clothing for cosmetic use, beauty mask, face mask. So everything. So beautification is part of class 3. Let's talk about class 5. Disinfectants, pharmaceutical preparations for healthcare, preparation for destroying vermins, insects, pests, fungicides, germicides, bactericidal agents, agents for combating parasites, algicides, insecticides, herbicides, deodorants, air freshening preparations, insect repelling agents, antiseptic agents, cleaning agents impregnated with disinfectants, except okay. So class 16 is interesting. That is disposable diapers, disposable diaper pants, disposable wipes, clothes for babies and children, and these are part of mainly made of paper, disposable diapers and the like. 21 is implements for cleaning purposes, duster, washing and the floor, clothes, mops, wingers for mops, sweeps, clothes and absorbent substances, cleaning, dusting, polishing clothes, impregnated clothes for cleaning, dusting and polishing brushes. Okay, let's see class 9. I think I just received an opposition notice for one of my trademark clients. Let's see that also. So I won't discuss my client here, but I thought I'd just review the email. Opposition is still on. Okay. Okay, this opposition is scheduled for 9th December. This is very interesting. I'll just, because we were discussing the Madrid stuff, I'll just talk about a little bit about the opposition hearing notices also. So in India, there are a couple of steps, and then there's a hearing before the examiner. So how, okay, in this particular case, what happened is, what we need to refute is to submit evidence in support of application within, evidence in support of application within prescribed time, and your application abandoned under Rule 46(2) of TM Rule 2017, you are hereby called to explain why the application shall not be treated as abandoned under said rule, and a hearing is fixed before the trademark registry via video conferencing on 9th of December 2025. Interesting. So I'll talk about this rule because this rule is also important. So this is supposed to be, before getting to the rule, I'll just discuss class 9, which is the trademark class. Very important class where there's any kind of electronics involved. Photographic apparatus and instruments. Apparatus and instruments for conducting, distributing, transforming, accumulating, regulating and controlling electricity. Apparatus for recording, transmitting, reproducing sound or images, compact discs, DVDs and other digital recording media. That's class 9. So let's look into the trademark rules of 2017, particularly the rule 46 sub rule 2. So I think it's more to do with the okay, let's see. So many a times, evidence. What is evidence in a trademarking case? Evidence is particularly stating that when you're saying a particular date is important for the execution of the mark, how you have been utilizing the mark over the years and how the candidates who are the users of the mark know you, the way they know you. That is what you have to explain and submit in a written statement. And so if nothing is filed under Rule 46(2), what is triggered or what is determined is an automatic deem, abandon, no hearing, no further notice kind of a statement. And only if the applicant files a petition under the section 131 of the Indian trademark law within 2 months of the abandonment order and proves the non-compliance was unintentional. So most of the times, at the last minute, the clients are not giving instructions, and if the instructions are not coming in, it is difficult to execute it in real time, and then this whole saga of filing petitions are submitted before the court of law to proving the non-compliance was unintentional. And and it's not that you file for revival, it will be revived, so that is also important. And then what is issued in the trademark law is called as a dead certificate if you are missing the evidence at any given point of time. So this is done. We were talking about the net neutrality and the trademarks. Let's get back here. Okay, I'll just take one more in this. So Denmark has a lot of emphasis on the word neutral. Denmark is like they're off the word neutral. Okay. Japan filed this word neutral in class 35 and 41. 35 and 41, the word neutral. So as I said, it's almost more than a decade, because this discussion of net neutrality is not new. So if you have to understand clause 3541, let's get into this. For me, it's a combination of both trademarking and a patenting work day. So that's how the day is orchestrated for today. Let's see, what's this? Let me let it. So it's 3541. So 3541. Very interesting. 41 is planning operation of shows featuring cinema, live entertainment, theater. It's a kind of an AR/VR kind of stuff. It is written in a different manner altogether for class 41, like teaching of skills, sports or knowledge, training of education of talent, models, singers, actors, cultural figures, and the like. So yeah. So Madrid Protocol becomes very important because that is how you are reachable to the masses, and the masses are reachable to you. Very well done, minimalistic kind of a website. However, the data sets are accurate, which is easy to browse for the candidate at any given point of time. So thank you for watching this out. Have a great week ahead. It's the starting of the month. I think affirmations are already in order for December. So yeah, thank you for watching this out. Have a great day ahead.